Recording is running. Alles werk, mic werk, goed. So coming out of the pits, goeienaand allemaal, welkom by ons training session, welcome. So, a few tips for Laguna Seca. Obviously, there's a couple of guys here in the chat that's a lot faster than me, so please be gentle with your comments. Couple of things for Laguna Seca. Avoid the sausage curbs at all cost. Doesn't matter where they are, just avoid them. They will murder you. And also the sand. Avoid the sand at all costs. Kind of impossible because this whole place is a desert. But just as far as you can, avoid the sand. That will cause severe pressure loss for you. Then one of the main things for this track is late apexes. Late apexes is very important on many of the corners. And then also we'll get to the corkscrew when we get there. So pit exit. You have to stay on next to the wall. You're not allowed to jump over the green part here, like many other people do. You have to follow the pit lane. Now, if you come down here full throttle, your brake marker for this tight turn is just before this little stripe on the right-hand side. So hit the brakes down to second gear, and then just be gentle on the throttle. It's a very, very sharp turn. Just be gentle on the throttle as you go around here, because you can easily lose it as you come out of the pits. Your tires will be cold, everything will be cold. So just make sure that you don't lose it. So we're gonna start. Maybe we should just jump back to the pits and we go it from turn 1. We'll jump across the line just for this one, so that we can start at turn 1. But for normally, stay to the pit lane around the little sharp bend there. But for now, we'll just jump across here for the track guide. So obviously this part is flat out. Just make it the road as straight as possible for yourself. But by the time you get to the right hand side, by the time you get to the brake marker, you should be on the right hand side of the track. So stick to the right hand side of the track. And just before this 3 line, once again, rather use the lines on the track rather than the boards, because they might be killed during the race. So use the physical markers on the track. So here, you sort of want to sacrifice the first part. This is a double apex corner, because the most important part is the exit of the second corner. So make sure that you get your car slowed down and stable. So you're going to get hard on the brakes by this 300 meter mark. Don't go too wide. You can invalidate your lap if you go too wide. But you're going to be on the brakes looking for second gear. In the Porsche, might be different for the other cars. And you want to be on the trail. You want to trail brake into this corner as much as possible. So you're going to go slightly wide in the first part. And then it's important to wait for the nose to come in. And you only want to get on throttle once you reach the apex in this position. And you have passed this little sausage curb on the inside. The little sausage curb there. So once you are there, you want to gently come on the throttle. You don't want to run wide here, because the sand is right there. But you do want to use all of the track available. So you will find the sweet spot, how much braking you need to apply for the first corner, and then just keeping the steering on, make it tighter and tighter and tighter as you get to the second apex. As you pass that sausage curb on the left hand side, then you get on the throttle gently, let it run wide all the way to the outside, and then quickly swing it back to the left hand side. You want to get in a position where you are following the road. So you want to get back to the left-hand side quickly, so that the angle for this corner is not so severe. You don't want to arrive at the curb on the left-hand side too late, because then you're going to have to turn much more. So you want to get over to the left-hand side as quickly as possible. And your brake marker for this corner is just between the 2 and the 1. I go down to second gear in the Porsche. That just helps with the rotation. So you want to be on the brakes. And this is one of the first corners. Late apexes are important, and avoid the curbs. So just between the 1 and the 2, you're going to be on the brakes. Just keep left until you have passed this little white piece of curb on the left hand side. Only then do you bring the car in, so that you can get a nice late apex. You always want to aim for this these white parts at the end of the curbs on the inside. That's something that you'll have to get used to. Avoid the sausage on there. You want to aim for an apex around about this area here with that little white on the end of the curb. Let it run wide all the way over to the side. Now, depending on what car you're driving, you might need to have a lift or have a little bit of a brake. I have to have a bit of a brake in the Porsche just to get the nose in. So you're going to stay all the way on the left, put your left wheel on the curb, and just before this little white part of the curb on the left hand starts, just a quick dab on the brakes. If you're lucky and you can lift, then great for you. Otherwise, just a quick dab on the brakes. I shift down 1 to 3rd. It just helps with the rotation. And then you want to coast through the first part. So make sure you get the car turned in. Don't hit that curb on the inside. It will, the sausage curb I mean, it will kill you and spit you out there on the far side. So you just want to run over the inside flat curb. And as soon as you pass the sausage, full on the throttle. That'll help you to get the rotation. Car can be a bit slippery coming out of that corner, so just be aware of that as well. Then we're going to stay on the right hand side. You're looking for your brake marker. You'll see there's a little white line on the wall on the right hand side. So if this number 2 board gets taken out, just remember there's that white mark as well. So in my view, as soon as that passes my peripheral vision, that is my indication to be on the brake. So it's just before the 2. Now, depending on your car, I go down to 2nd gear for this corner. Once again, it just helps to get the drive up the hill. 3rd gear feels a bit on the pop side. So once again, you want to have a late apex. So slow the car down in a straight line and wait until just before that white part of the curbing starts before you turn in. So slow the car down, then you bring the car in. And once again, you just want to get over on the flat part, don't hit the sausage curb, and you want to get your apex right here where this white part starts. So don't be tempted to turn in too early, otherwise you're going to be forced wide and you won't have such a good drive going up the hill. So your apex point is around about here. Full on the gas, up the hill. Don't go on the sand. And now we get to one of the most important corners. This corner coming up, you have to attack it. There's no other way to do it. If you want to be fast, you have to attack it. Now, what we mean by attack doesn't mean you have to kill it or something like that. It means you have to be aggressive, but aggressive in a controlled manner. So what we want to do when you come to this corner is just before the 1 board, you're going to give a stab on the brakes. You're going to get off the brakes. Now, depending on your car, I go down 1 gear in the Porsche because it just helps with the traction up the hill again. Staying in 4th in the Porsche for me is a bit on the pop side again, so it just feels like you don't pick up that amount of speed that you need. The main thing is you want to get on the throttle as you hit the dip. If you get on throttle after the dip, then you're already too late. That's what we mean by attack the corner, be aggressive through this corner. So what you're going to do, we'll do it in full speed shortly. Stay on the right hand side as far as possible with your right hand wheels on the curb. Just before the 1 board, there at that little white, once again, you see that white marker on the wall on the right hand side. Just as you get there, you're going to tap the brake, down 1, coast through, and as soon as your front hit this curb, this little dip here on the apex, get on full throttle. If you get it correct, then the car will grip up through the camber and it will spit you out roughly about in this area here, where you want to be. So you have to be aggressive on that corner and stay wide, stay to the right hand side as far as possible. And only here do you bring it over to the left-hand side. Not viciously, just gently onto the left-hand side. Because coming up for the corkscrew, your brake marker is just where that white line on the right-hand side is, sort of there where that little, not actually, the marshal is too far, but just before you reach the crest. And the idea is you want to slow down in a straight line, but you have to choose the line you want to use. You can't go straight like the car's facing now, otherwise you will end up in the sand. So what it means that you will have to come, as soon as you reach this, you want to aim for that corner. And your brake marker is roughly just as you reach this little white part of the curb on the right hand side. So now you want to brake in a straight line, bring it down to second gear, slow the car down first, and then cut as much as you can of the inside curb on the left. As soon as you've turned the car in for the left hand, open the steering, make it straight. And then just go straight over the second part. And you only worry about turning once you get to the bottom. Similar to Eau Rouge and the first corner of Red Bull, where your main thing is just to get the car in through the first part. Then you open the steering, and then after the second part, then only you bring the car around. So what this will look like is you'll be going this way. You just want to be on this little, on the edge of the track on the right hand side. You're going to be braking in a straight line, braking in a straight line. You want to end up in the middle of the track when you are done braking, down into second gear. So the only thing you want to worry about is getting this first turn in correctly. And you want to cut as much of it as possible, but just be aware that on the inside you've got the red and white, and then you've got the green part, and then on the inside of the green there's a little bump. Don't go over the bump. You just want to get over this part of the green. So don't take too much of that, because that will unsettle the car and make you go all flying through. So you just want to get over this part. As soon as you're through the corner, you just open your steering. And you'll see you'll be fine for the corkscrew. So you just keep the steering straight. And once you go down the hill, only then do you bring the car around. So it's not that frightening. You just worry about the first part. As soon as you're through it, open the steering straight immediately. Go straight over the crest. And as soon as you're going down the hill, only then do you bring the car around. Once you're over the curbing. Then you bring your car just gently to the right hand side of the track. You don't necessarily have to go all the way to the right. But as you get to this part where the red and white curb starts, this is where you're going to just lift. And you're just going to feather the throttle. You're just going to lift. You're going downhill. It feels like the track is sort of slipping away from you. So you have to be very, very careful on your throttle here. And you just want to get the car just stable enough to get through the turn. So you'll be coasting, just feathering the throttle, and then just bringing it tighter and tighter and tighter, so that you can just clip this corner in this position. This is where you want to aim for. Once you reach this position, then you can gently feed on the throttle, keeping in mind that the camber is not in your favor. Here it is, but just as you go onto the other part of the racetrack in front, then the sort of like the track falls away from you, so it can cause you to lose the rear and run wide. So you want to end up in this position here, bring the car sharply over to the left hand side, and your brake marker is just after this red and white, between the 1 and 2 board. There's no real other indications for a brake marker here, because it's open area, so there's no markers on the walls. So it's important for you to get a visual for yourself on this red and white curb where exactly your brake marker should be. I tend to brake just as I pass the red and white. So roughly in about this position here, then I will get on the brakes. So third gear corner. Once again, stay left as long as possible. There's some nice camber in this corner, so it'll keep you in. But get the turn in very, very late. Don't be too eager to turn in, otherwise you will ruin your exit on this corner. So slow the car down, keep it in a straight line, and as you pass this white part on the left hand side, then you bring the car in third gear, It'll be just a bit of coasting until you reach the sausage curb, and then you can plant it full throttle, and you will end up somewhere in this vicinity and then straight over to the right hand side again. Now, my brake marker for this one is maybe slightly different than the other people. I tend to look at this little piece of tarmac right here. Where the pit goes in and the track goes right, there's this little piece of tarmac that connects them, and then it ends and becomes sand. So that is my brake marker. So as I'm going along on the right hand side of the track, as that piece of tarmac goes outside my peripheral vision, obviously you drive on probably different field of view, so it might be different for you, but it's just before the 200 meter mark. And then you want to get hard on the brakes. Stay on the right hand side as long as possible, and get a late turn in here as well. Get the car slowed down. You don't want to turn early, so that you can get a nice hookup. By the time you get to this corner, once again, avoid the sausage curb on the inside. You want to be on full throttle. Let it run wide as possible. Both wheels sort of here. That's just be your maximum. Don't go over the green. And then run to the finish line. So let's try this at a bit faster speed. I'll talk faster as well. So we go straight. Just make this as straight line as possible. Just before the 3 meter mark. So you want to trail it in, compromise the first part, bring it in tighter and tighter and tighter, so that when you get to that curb, you can floor it, get over quickly to the left hand side. Late apex and on the throttle. Don't run onto the sand. Quick stab on the brakes, coasts through. As soon as you pass that inside sausage curb, hard on the throttle. Stay to the right, just before the 2. Late turn in. When you get to that white part of the inside curb, get on the throttle. Here we stay late. We're going to brake, 1 down. Okay, I had a bit of a oopsie there, but you get the idea. Tires are still very cold. Stay to the left. Brake in a straight line down to 2nd gear. Over the first part. Straight over that part. And then I fucked it up as normal. You know what I mean. Tires are cold. Everything is cold. I'm cold. I'm spinning it around. Okay, no worries. Nothing to see here. I'm okay. Just warming the tires. Okay, we'll do a better lap. Don't worry, boys. Okay, we'll put a real one in for the track guide. Okay, so once again, just keep it as straight as possible. At the 3 line, hard on the brakes. Down to 2nd gear, compromise the first part. Bring it in tighter as soon as you pass the inside sausage curb on the throttle. Over to the left, between the 2 and the 1. Be patient with this one. Don't run wide, just before the 1. Brake, down 1. As soon as you pass the inside sausage curb on the throttle. Stay to the right, just before the 2. Late apex, as soon as you get to the white part. Full on the throttle, let's attack this corner properly now. Just before the 1, brake, down 1. There we go, that's what you want. So you coast, and as soon as you hit that bump, you're on the throttle. Stay to the left, brake in a straight line. Over the inside, straight over, and then only we turn. Then we lift, just coast it around, wait for that apex. There it is, on the throttle. Over to the left, 1 down. As you pass the sausage curb, I wait for that little piece of tarmac there. And there we go, that's a relatively quick lap for Laguna Seca. Hopefully that gives you some insight about this terrible track. Oh, pit entry. Let's do the pit entry quickly. Hopefully it answers some of the questions. So most of the important corners, the ones that you have to attack. So main thing is turn in late on most of the corners. Wait for the sausage curbs on the inside. As soon as you pass them, that's your cue to get on the throttle. Now we're going to do the pit entry as well. This one again. Brake, third gear. As soon as you hit that inside, flat on the gas. Over to the left. Brake in a straight line. Down to second gear. Just worry about the first part. Straight over the second part. And then bring the car around. Feather the throttle. So pit entry. Just... I was too fast there. Let me just reverse a bit. As soon as you get to where this yellow line starts, right there, where the yellow line and the white line is started, that'll be your brake marker to make sure you make it for the pit entrance. Board is just here, so you should see your penalty coming towards you as you go along. Just make sure that it's a very tight, quick right left, so don't drive into the tires. Because you can give yourself some nice damage even going into the pits. So just make sure that you are aware of that. Don't get a fright. And that covers everything for Laguna Seca. Hope it helps. I'll put the track guide out for you guys either later tonight or tomorrow, so that you have some references for that as well.